Buenos días, bienvenidos al café, el agua está lista, empecemos con el programa del día de hoy.
Today, we and our 18 NATO allies agreed to do what we said we would do, what we must do to restore the peace.
I was suggesting we bomb Belgrade. I was suggesting that we send American pilots in and blow up all the bridges on the Drina.
My fellow citizens, at this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today, I authorize the Armed Forces of the United States to begin a limited military action in Libya in support of an international effort to protect Libyan civilians. That action has now begun.
So we came, we saw, he died.
Hello folks, good morning. We are in All Fears program in Latin, in Spanish and in English. So, welcome today to our program, All Fears streaming here in Latin. Welcome.
Today, we and our 18 NATO allies agreed to do what we said we would do, what we must do to restore the peace.
I was suggesting we bomb Belgrade. I was suggesting that we send American pilots in and blow up all the bridges on the Drina.
My fellow citizens, at this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today, I authorize the Armed Forces of the United States to begin a limited military action in Libya in support of an international effort to protect Libyan civilians. That action has now begun.
Будешь еще?
Нет.
Будешь еще?
Нет.
Будешь еще?
Нет.
Будешь еще?
We came, we saw, he died.
Не дышать тяжело.
Фу, успокойся, там, наверное, воняет нас, Вась. Все взял, хуярь, на, сука.
Да я поняла все.
Да нам похуй. А?
Она извинилась?
Ну да, вроде извинилась. Ну-ка, на, я пойду там стою.
Что, тебе как весело? Нет? А нахуй ты кидаешь магазины? А?
Че, пальцы?
Вторую тоже. Руку убирай.
Я обещаю, больше не буду.
Руку убирай. Один удар держишь и все. Руку, говорю, убери, нахуй.
Руки убирай.
Сюда прижми.
Руку убирай. Ну что, как тебе?
Сломал.
Как тебе?
Ужасно.
Ужасно? Я сидел в ужасном магазине.
Руки давай. Руки давай. Сейчас, подожди. Давай руки. Руки давай вот так. Сейчас умываться будешь. Умывайся. Умывайся, зеленка.
Умывайся.
На, сильнее. Тихо.
Чем? Каким оружием? Чем?
Можно еще вопрос? Можно я задам вопрос? Здравствуйте, меня зовут Владимир, я журналист. Скажите, пожалуйста, вот в других странах, в том числе в Прибалтике, например, да, там тоже все то же самое.
And there's some talk now that he could be indicted. Do you think that'll happen?
I don't know. I mean, look, it's a sad situation. That laptop is devastating. I've never seen anything like it. Nobody has. Probably not. It's probably not going to happen. But we'll have to see. It's a lot of talk about a lot of different things. Nobody's ever seen anything. They tried to say it was Russia, and you know, it's a total hoax. And then the New York Times essentially admitted that they were lying, and they just covered it up before the election. And it's pretty sad what's happening in our country with freedom of speech and press. We want a free press, so we have the exact opposite. We have a very corrupt press. So it's very sad when you look at what's happening, but we're going to get it straightened out.
Let's talk about this lawsuit against Hillary Clinton. What do you hope to accomplish with that?
Well, they spied on my campaign. You had all of them there. All the names are there. All the names you've been reading about for years. Bill Barr didn't want to be impeached, and so therefore he decided not to do it, which was a shame because, frankly, you know, you need courage to fight these people, deep state or whatever you want to call them. But I think we're going to do very well with it. We have a great lawsuit, and I felt it was really very important to bring it because think of it. If I spied on their campaign, can you imagine what would happen, John? If I spied on their campaign on Obama or Biden or on Hillary Clinton, and the same thing happened where we caught them, because we caught them red-handed. If that ever happened, what are they talking about? Treason? Are they talking about the rest of your life in jail? Are they talking about death penalty? And these people can't be allowed to get away with this stuff.
Let's also talk about Russia and Ukraine. It seems like Putin may have miscalculated there. What is your assessment of where things stand right now with Putin's invasion of Ukraine?
Well, you never know. I can tell you the country is just in shambles. You look at these cities, they've been bombed and they've been blown up, and it's going to take 50 to 100 years to rebuild them. And so many people have been killed. So many people have been killed and horribly wounded. But I will tell you that it should have never happened.
¿Saben quién tiene el trabajo más difícil esta noche? Javier Bardem y su esposa. Están nominados. Ahora, si ella pierde, él no puede ganar. Él está rezando para que Will Smith gane como, por favor, señor. Ada, te amo. G. Jane también. No puedo esperar para verlo todo. Es Javelin, esa estuvo buena. Esa estuvo buena. Oh, Richard. Oh, por Dios. Will Smith le acaba de sacar la mierda de la boca. Deja el nombre de mi esposa fuera de tu puta boca. Oh, sí, era un chiste. Deja el nombre de mi esposa fuera de tu puta boca. Bueno, lo haré. Eso fue la mejor noche en la historia de la televisión.
I've worked with Russian leaders for decades. I sat across the negotiating table going all the way back to Soviet Premier Alexei Kosygin to talk arms control at the height of the Cold War. I've always spoken directly and honestly to you, the Russian people. Let me say this if you're able to listen. You, the Russian people, are not our enemy. I refuse to believe that you welcome the killing of innocent children and grandparents, or that you accept hospitals, schools, maternity wards, and for God's sake, being pummeled with Russian missiles and bombs, or cities being surrounded so that civilians cannot flee, supplies cut off, and attempting to starve Ukrainians into submissions. Millions of families are being driven from their homes, including half of all Ukraine's children. These are not the actions of a great nation. Of all people, you, the Russian people, as well as all people across Europe, still have the memory of being in a similar situation in the late 30s and 40s. Situation of World War II, still fresh in the minds of many grandparents in the region. Whatever your generation experienced, whether it experienced the siege of Leningrad or heard about it from your parents and grandparents, train stations overflowing with terrified families fleeing their homes, nights sheltering in basements and cellars, mornings sitting through the rubble in your homes. These are not memories of the past, not anymore, because it's exactly what the Russian army is doing in Ukraine right now. March 26, 2022. The Kremlin wants to portray NATO enlargement as an imperial project aimed at destabilizing Russia. Nothing is further from the truth. NATO is a defensive alliance. It has never sought the demise of Russia. This is not the future reserve. I've always spoken directly and honestly to you, the Russian people. Let me say this if you're able to listen. You, the